Hey, I'm Steve Lehto. I was just driving around and I came across this old car out in the woods and I thought, hey, what's that? I took pictures of it, sent them along to my dad, who's an expert in cars of this era, and he got back to me and said, Steve, that is a 1942 Buick Super. And I thought that's interesting because I talked about the 1942 model year in my book about Preston Tucker because that's the year the federal government told car companies to stop building cars and start building stuff for our war effort. So this car was built by Buick prior to February 4th, 1942, because that's when they ceased production of civilian cars. So this is a pretty neat car. It looks a lot like a Roadmaster, but it is in fact a Super. We'll talk about that in a second, but the Super weighed 3,863 pounds, cost about $1,381 brand new. They built 16,001 of them, and then they also exported another 264. Like I said, it looks a lot like a Roadmaster, but it is in fact a Buick Super. The primary difference between the Super and the Roadmaster was the Super had a 248 cubic inch overhead valve straight 8, and the Roadmaster had a 320 cubic inch overhead valve straight 8. Ah, the good old days of straight 8 engines. This thing's seen better days. As you can imagine, there's now foliage coming out of the dashboard. It's missing all of its window glass, of course, and the interior has been, what shall we say? It's reverting back to nature. In fact, I think this whole car might eventually just sink into the ground and revert back to its raw materials. You'll notice as we walk around the car, it's got some patina, but it's also got a big old ding in this fender. Not sure how that got there. Something looks like it fell out of the sky on it. And then, of course, behind this beautiful grille is where that straight 8 engine used to be. Someone's pried off all the badges and so on from this vehicle, making it a little bit harder to identify. And I admit, I don't know this era of cars as well. But like I said, rest assured, this is in fact a Model 51 1942 Buick Super designed by Harley Earl, and it rolled off the assembly line sometime prior to February 4th, 1942. We'll check out the spacious interior here in a second. This thing was designed to seat 6 people comfortably. Had a very, very large interior. Check out that steering wheel. We've seen those on American Pickers. You get that, you put it on your wall, or if you own a restaurant, you stick it on the wall. We got window cranks, door cranks, everything like that. Gigantic back seat. And like I said, this thing has, in fact, seen better days. In case you're curious about the Roadmaster versus Super question, there is one designation that is still on the vehicle, and there we go, on the bumper. Buick Super. So it's sitting in the field, in the woods right here. Not sure what will happen to it other than just perhaps decaying over time. 1942 Buick Super. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.